Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Vendo Velocity. We're super happy that you decided to join us today. If you haven't been watching Vendo Velocity or haven't tuned in to our show before, Vendo Velocity is a live podcast that I host every Tuesday. And we go live to talk about the latest platform updates and strategies on Walmart.com, Amazon.com, and TikTok Shop. So excited to have someone who's been on the podcast for a couple times now, Hiram Gonzalez, who is one of the senior strategists on our Walmart team here. But Hiram, happy to have you back. If you can just run through intros on how long you've been at Vendo, what exactly you do here, and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Delaney, this is episode 145.
Oh,
So
is it? There we go.
yeah, you've been going strong, and I'm glad to see that this platform has grown so much. And obviously, I'm always super excited to be on here. But like Delaney said, my name's Hiram. I've been at Vendo for almost 4 years, and I've grown a lot. So I do a lot for this company. But my biggest role here is senior account strategist on the Walmart team for ecom, obviously. And just a little bit about me: I love Walmart, both like the physical stores. I love the website. I love seeing the website develop. And I'm actually based here in Bentonville, Arkansas, so the Walmart headquarters. And for me, I'm just super grateful to be in this space because I truly feel like I'm fully immersed in everything that's happening with Walmart. And right now, there's not a better place for me to be. So I'm just super excited about everything happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hiram started his career off at Walmart, so has merchant specific experience there too, which definitely adds some additional insight and knowledge, and then leads our intern program here as well. So, as you said, wears many different hats, is um, trusted with the development of new teammates that are coming onto the business. And then on top of that, of course, brings his expertise for Walmart, which you will see today as well. But we're going to be diving into an interesting topic today, and that's the 5 its. So Walmart really bases its overall strategy around these 5 its. So Hiram, if you could just kind of give our audience a bit of a glimpse into the topic, what are the 5 its, and then we'll dive into each one individually.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, both Delaney and I started our careers at Walmart, so we were talking about how we use this to kind of grow our businesses, and now we're here. But this is a strategy that I obviously didn't develop. It's just something that I remind myself when I'm trying to build a brand or just grow a business here. And essentially, it's an e-commerce strategy that was actually created by Mark Laurie. He used to be the president and CEO of Walmart e-commerce for 5 years. And what it focuses on really is strategy on how to grow your business, right? So the 5 its are have it focuses on your assortment. And again, I'll dive into all of these, here in a bit. The next one is find it. So how are your listings set up, and can the customer easily find it? That's super, super important. The third one is display it. So do your listings have compelling content that will actually convert the customer? The fourth one is price it. So as we know, you need to have the best offer. Walmart is all about everyday low price and ensuring that you're in stock for the customer. It's all about the customer. And then the last one is deliver it. And that's going to focus on fast and free shipping. So again, we'll dive into all of those, but those are the 5 its that we try to remind ourselves of when building a brand or growing something on Walmart.com.
Awesome. Thanks for level setting that, Hiram. So just to regroup on what Hiram just said, have it, find it, display it, price it, deliver it. Those are the 5 its. And we'll dive into each one individually. So first, let's start off with have it. Question for you, Hiram, because there's a lot of brands now that might be looking to launch on Walmart.com that have a humongous assortment. They sell thousands and thousands of SKUs. So the end goal for a lot of these brands as well to drive revenue is to be in stores. So how would you go about building your assortment for a brand that has tons of items and is trying to get into stores?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if you have tons of items, not all of them can be winners. That's why it's important to build a channel strategy because we can grow them right to that. And right off the bat, like the number one recommendation is get on Walmart Marketplace if you're not on Marketplace already. And Vendo helps with that, right? We can create your account, create your items, optimize them, just be in charge of the entire channel to a point where we would grow your long tail SKUs, right? And then we would also focus on Walmart fulfillment services. And if you don't know what that is, I've actually, my last Vendo Velocity was on WFS, so make sure to check that out. But essentially, what WFS is it's another marketplace channel, just like FBA for Amazon, that allows you to really send your products to a Walmart fulfillment center and then them pick, pack, and ship your inventory. So focusing on marketplace as a new channel strategy, I'd also suggest investing in your items. If you truly think that you have a winner and you believe in your items, then you have to invest in them. And there's tons of way to invest. You can do Walmart Connect, which is Walmart's advertising arm. So paying for like sponsored search would be one way for Walmart Connect. Um, Another way is reviews, right? So people care about user generated content, and having a high star rating and adequate amount of reviews definitely goes a long way. So do that. And then obviously WFS, because that's going to show the customer that your products are being fulfilled by Walmart, and that builds customer trust. So that's for marketplace. If you had like a 1P contract with Walmart already, one thing that I would suggest is leverage your DSV channel. DSV stands for drop ship vendor. So what you can do there is Walmart technically owns your inventory and they own the pricing, but you're in charge of housing the inventory and shipping it to the customer. So if that works with your business model, I would go about doing something like that. And again, the whole point of Walmart.com is ensuring you have your extended assortment for the customer to find your products online.
That's a great point, Hiram. And I want to dive a little bit deeper into DSV because that might be a more unique channel for those who aren't used to selling on Walmart or who primarily sell on Amazon. So, would like to expand on that a little bit. There's been talk around Walmart pretty much pulling away from DSV in some categories. Is that the case? Are you seeing that, or is that only particular to some items in which Walmart isn't very profitable for?
No, that's a really good question. I've been seeing that with a lot of my buyers. The reality is Walmart shifted from focusing on growth, which means like revenue GMV, to shifting to contribution profit. And their strategy for that is, yeah, like kind of slow down or shut off the DSV channel and then move items to marketplace. And the reason for that is because when you're on DSV, you have access to Walmart's shipping account. So they're paying for your shipping. So in that case, you're saving more. But for marketplace, as a marketplace seller, you're in charge of the entire experience. So that's pricing, inventory, shipping, customer service, returns. You do all of that, and that obviously helps Walmart's P&L and their margins. So yeah, that's actually been something that a lot of our brands have kind of been explained about, is really just hey, this DSV channel is slowly going away, and the new importance is focusing on marketplace and WFS.
Awesome. That's great insights there. And as you'll see, a lot of these it's tied together. So the next one being find it, of course, really ties into have it because if you don't have it, you can't find it. So want to dive a little bit deeper into find it because Walmart.com is a little bit more unique than Amazon, in which Amazon is purely algorithm driven. There's a bit more you can do on Walmart.com when it comes to find it, but there are also a few more restrictions around that as well. So Hiram is has seen great success in working with merchants, which I'm sure he'll talk through in a bit, related to the findability of products on Walmart.com. But Hiram, before we touch on some of those things, can you go into what are some of the key challenges with SEO and just overall searchability on Walmart.com?
Yeah, so like Delaney said, the algorithms are different for Amazon and Walmart, right? So Walmart's search algorithm is still playing catch up, and it's improving. So I do appreciate that, but there are challenges, right? When it comes to like setting up your items, sometimes there's a good chance that it'll be incorrectly categorized. and if it's in the incorrect category, your customers can't find it. So it's always important to check that you have the correct taxonomy and the correct shelving path, and you can just see that on the listing itself on the top left corner. But one thing that I will say is recently Walmart has moved item setup to be focused on product type instead of category. Um, when you set up an item with a category, it's pretty broad, so the attributes might not match and they might not be relevant, right? For product type, it's very, very specific. So you have a chance to fill out more attributes, which will help out with relevancy. So that's a challenge, right? Is ensuring that your item is set up correctly. And if you are having trouble with your items showing up where they need to be, that's a chance where you can kind of leverage Walmart Connect, right? So with advertising, you can put paid search dollars behind certain keywords, and then you'll begin to show up there. One thing I will say is you need to ensure that your items are relevant enough for that Walmart algorithm to actually bid on that correct search term. So those are kind of some challenges with SEO, but like I like it because Walmart is improving every single day and trying to catch up to Amazon.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that because I know that content scores are a big thing for Walmart.com. At least they were previously. Are they still?
Yeah, it's still super
Okay,
important. Yeah.
cool. So content scores being super important. I know that previously as well, and this is probably still the case, but the additional attributes, as you just spoke to, Hiram, were very important in order to improve your content scores. So you would have to complete basically as many of those relevant additional attributes as possible in order to improve those scores. The key difference with Amazon here is that a lot of those additional attributes are optional. So you can include them, which we'd recommend, as that would help with your overall ranking and relevancy on some of those like browse nodes and key attributes. But how important is that, and how, with the evolution of item 360 and just the algorithm, with you saying that there's more of a focus on product type, is like what is the importance of those additional attributes and really completing basically every relevant attribute that's at your disposal there versus just completing the mandatory ones?
Yeah, so I'll let you guys in on some information. Item 360 is actually transitioning. It's going away, and we're moving towards Supplier One, and it'll have Item 360 capabilities. So that's kind of like one thing there. In terms of the importance of like content scores and attribution, when it comes to content scores, Walmart requires that your items have at least a 95% content quality score. So there's not much room for error there. And there's two reasons why content score is important. One is to ensure that your buyer's happy and that they know that you're doing the right things. And the second thing is because you can pull that organic lever with content, right? If you're not paying for search, then you can always just use organic as a way to increase in ranking. And then when it comes to attribution, you have to think about it the way that a customer might shop. So let's say you're buying like a t-shirt, right? On the left-hand navigation, there's a panel where you can filter, and it can be like sizing, color, pack size, like all these different things. Those are all attributes on the back end that you can fill out. And if you fill them out correctly, then your products are going to show up in like those filters. So you need your products to show up in as many places as possible. And that's why attribution will help with that.
Absolutely, that's a great point there. That's a great transition as well to our next it, which is display it. So, Hiram, just talk about fundamentally what are the most important things to focus on when building out a great product listing?
Yeah, so I don't want this question to go like unnoticed. And it's super important to know that what works on Amazon is not going to work on Walmart. And Delaney, like we know this, we talk about this, but um, there's a lot of things that are different, right? So for Walmart, you don't want a super long keyword stuff title. That doesn't work. What you're looking for is a title that has about 70 characters. That's the sweet spot. So if you don't take anything from this entire like webinar, 70 characters for the title. Images, you need at least five. But for me, it's not enough to just have five images. Like we need to figure out a way to invest in educational infographics that actually highlight the key features and benefits. So creating those infographics, super, super important. Obviously, video is like 1,000 images in just like one spot. So video is a high expectation. For your description, the sweet spot is 150 words. So you don't want to make it longer because you'll actually get dinged for that. And if it's too short, you'll also get dinged. For key features, just having five that really highlight like the product benefits. And then I'd say one of the most important ones is reviews. And I talked about this earlier, but if you see customers are leaving positive reviews, you're going to have a higher propensity to purchase as opposed to looking at an item that has no reviews and nothing on there, right? I think we can all attest to that. We all like shopping based off of like what other people are saying. It's just word of mouth. So if you follow kind of that structure that I just listed, there's a high chance you're going to have a high content quality score. And on the front end, your item is going to look good enough for a customer to check out the product. Because if you think about it, we shop very fast. You basically have 10 seconds. We got to make sure that we make those 10 seconds count to the customer.
That's a great point, Hiram. And I want to expand on reviews a bit more because I think this is a hot topic for all sellers, regardless of where you sell. And if you primarily come from an Amazon background, you're probably used to Amazon Fine being the primary review service, or maybe some additional like follow-up services through Helium 10 follow-up, etc., to engage with the customers and request a review in a way that doesn't violate Amazon's terms of service. And I say that very strictly because we know now that Amazon's really, really cracking down on any sort of review manipulation. So it's very important that you read through their full TOS and you're really understanding what that is before you have any sort of review service in place there. But Hiram, for Walmart, it's a bit more unique in that there are syndication services provided for Walmart.com. So can you dive a little bit into what that looks like and some of the top services that you'd recommend there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a space where Walmart is actually doing better than Amazon because of the ease of use. So when it comes to review syndication, that's essentially getting reviews from like your direct to consumer back to Walmart.com. It's only from your direct to consumer. So if you have reviews on Amazon, you actually can't pull it to Walmart for obvious competitive reasons. But there are services that do syndication for you. So the number one service is Bazaar Voice. That is a partnership with Walmart actually. So they are a review generation program that also offers syndication. So you can pay for syndication on Bazaar Voice. There's other ones like Home Testers Club, which does the same thing, or even Yotpo. So there's a couple different ones, and I think that that's the beauty in it, right? Is that Walmart allows you to pick, and you don't have to wait weeks on end to send your product and then have them review it and then have the reviews go live. Instead, you can just pay for syndication. However, on the listing, it will say under the review, it was like pulled from like X website, right? So the customer will see that it was syndicated and that it's not organic.
Got it. Understood. And then that's a good segue to pricing here because I think, of course, just as a shopper, you're looking at pricing, you're looking at reviews, and then that's ultimately going to determine your overall click through rate when you're searching for a specific listing. So, pricing is also another hot topic at Walmart because of the concept of EDLP or everyday low price. And especially because all of these retailers now have strong pricing algorithms and smart pricing algorithms that are matching each other even on a unit a price per unit standpoint. So want to dive a little bit deeper into that and just get your thoughts, Hiram, on what specific pricing strategy you recommend for new sellers looking to launch on the platform.
Yeah, I mean, like Walmart is all about EDLP, like you said. So they always want price leadership versus other online retailers in competition. So they will scrape, right? Especially if like they own your inventory, they'll scrape other like websites and then they'll match pricing. So that's very important to be cognizant about that specific instance. So when you're building your pricing model, always keep in mind that Walmart always wants price leadership. And something that I've recently been learning too is the search algorithm actually rewards pricing. And That's not really a surprise, but like when you think about it, Walmart is all about saving money to the customer. So if you have the lowest price within that specific category of products, there's a higher chance that you're ranked higher in organic search. So when it comes to what like specific pricing models I would recommend, um, I think that really involves, coming out the gate strong, with pricing, but also I think it's super important to leverage promotions. As a marketplace seller, there's a couple programs that are offered to sellers, right? So you can do campaigns or flash deals. Campaigns is just a promotion strategy that focus on like seasonal events, right? So you have summertime, back to school, back to college, Black Friday, holiday, New Year, New You. That's kind of campaign. So you can enroll your items if they make sense for that specific campaign. And then for flash deals, that's actually on a week by week basis. Both of these are amazing programs that actually get tons of traffic driven back to their specific landing pages. So if I was launching on Marketplace, I would ensure that I build in space and margin for promotions to ensure that the customer's seeing our products, because when you're a part of these promotions, you're actually placed on these deal shelves that get tons of traffic as opposed to just being like on a search shelf. So take advantage of promotions. It's all there on Seller Center. And then for 1P and 3P, you can also do strike through pricing. That's essentially just minimum of 10% off. And it's actually really cool because the way that it looks on site is your retail price is crossed out, and then there's a bigger green number saying like the savings and like the new retail price. So that's kind of just for visibility, and honestly it helps stand out in front of your competition. So those are kind of some of the things that I would do to ensure that our pricing is best in class and that we're always winning the buy box as well.
That was some pretty loaded information there. I think there were like 5 different strategies in one. So I want to go into a couple things just to give our audience a bit more clarity into what you said, Hiram, since that was so great. But one of them being competitive price matching. Now, on Amazon, if you are on the 3P side and you are faced with an external price that's found, like let's just say a lower price was found at Walmart, what Amazon will do is it will suppress your buy box, meaning that the product won't show up in search. And then when you go to the actual detail page, it will say that you don't have the buy box. Like it will have you click into the other offers that you see there. So it's there's more friction in the experience for the customer because there's now multiple clicks that they need to do in order to check out. And we see conversion rate drop off pretty significantly. Now, you can match the price pretty quickly, or you could set up pricing rules to do that for you automatically. But wanted to get your take, Hiram, like, what does it do on the 3P side for Walmart? Like, does it just show a suppressed buy box if you're not matching? Does it automatically match? How much control do you have over the price matching?
I think that's one good thing about Marketplace is that you have control and you have actionable insights provided by Seller Center that literally tell you what you have to do. And I've experienced this many times managing brands for Marketplace. The way that we kind of see it on our end is your item actually goes unpublished, and then it tells you right there the customer would drastically save more money shopping on another retailer, and then it actually links it to the retailer. That way, it shows you the price, and then immediately from there,
Really?
yeah, you can price match it. So you can fix it that way. There's also this feature, basically price incentives on Seller Center, where you can create pricing rules in order to ensure that you're always winning the buy box, but you never basically go below a specific retail. So if I know that I have 5 other sellers competing with me and I'm listing my product at 19.99, somebody can just list their product at 19.98. Then they'll be winning the buy box. I can create a rule on Seller Center where I basically say, hey, allow me to always win the buy box at whatever retail as long as it doesn't go below 16.99. From there, you'll always have like your pricing will be healthy essentially, and you'll be winning the buy box. So those are two ways that I would suggest ensuring that you're kind of taking care of business from a pricing perspective, and that you're always the most successful winning the buy box.
Absolutely. Great points there. And then my second thing, just because it's so timely, Amazon Prime Day was just announced today as July 16th and 17th. And if you've been tuning into Vendo Velocity for the past couple of months, we've given you a heads up that those were the dates that we thought it would be. So you were probably well prepared there. But Hiram, of course, we can always expect the retailers to compete with each other. Interestingly enough, TikTok Shop is going to be having a deals for you days, which sounds very similar to what Walmart has had in the past, but that is going to be a week earlier. So it's actually the 8th through the 11th. Can you talk to us a little bit about how Walmart is planning to compete during the month of July with these retailers as well?
Yeah, we were all under the impression that they would align it with Amazon. So it's not. It's a week earlier. We'll see how that strategy plays out. But yesterday they released a statement saying Walmart Deals Week is happening. So we're all aware of that. And it's supposed to be the largest deal event in history for Walmart. So I'm very excited about it. I mean, there's tons of incentives, and there's actually specific ways that you can get on specific places on site. So it's like tiered depending on the percentage that you can offer the customer, or like the percentage off, right? The savings. So if you offer 20% versus 30%, there's certain places that you can be on site. And obviously that's important because that event is going to bring in so much traffic. I think it was last year that there was like more sales on Walmart than Amazon for Black Friday. So, and I'm super passionate about this because I've seen the site grow so much, and I always tell my friends and family to shop on Walmart.com, and it's clearly working. So this event should be massive. If you're a marketplace seller, you can definitely put your products on promotion. It's just like a pricing sheet that you have to download, and then you kind of put in the specific information there. But they're highlighting a lot of different categories. It's already on the homepage right now, and there's some products that you can actually start seeing what the savings are. So that's more visibility. And I don't know. I'm just super excited about it. Make sure to buy all your stuff there. And if you're a Walmart Plus member, you get early access to that too. So join Walmart Plus for that specific reason. But there's tons of benefits for that.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Walmart Plus in a second, I'm sure, due to the last it, which is Deliver It. But
Mhm.
first, Hiram, I need to know because when I first met you, and I can't remember which one it was, you either had never shopped on Walmart or you had never shopped on Amazon. I want to say it's Amazon due to your loyalty to Walmart, but I need to know if you've shopped both retailers now or if you've gone to the dark side when it comes to your consumer habits here.
Yeah, I had never shopped on Amazon when we met.
Got
And it's so weird because I'm all about ecom, but like
it.
I also love like the physical presence.
Yeah.
Obviously we met at like kind of a weird time during COVID, so that forced me to shop on Amazon.com. And yes, I'm a Prime member. I'm a Prime member, but it's because I'm an ecom fan, right? So I'm also a Walmart Plus member. Um, I shop mostly on Walmart just because living here, it's so beneficial. I mean, I literally get my groceries delivered in 1 hour. I don't have to, move. I can just move a finger and everything's there. So their online pickup and delivery program is best in class. But I guess this is where like Havoc comes in, right? Like Walmart doesn't have as many items as Amazon, and that's why I shop on Amazon, because I know that they're going to have it. My job is to ensure that everything that you can possibly think of is available on Walmart.com, and that's why Walmart has put in so much time, effort, resources into this channel, is to ensure that the customer has that available to them.
There we go. And then the customer can also get it fast. So Hiram just touched on this related to his groceries, and obviously he has a bit of a competitive advantage out in Arkansas because the WalMarts there are very different than the WalMarts everywhere else,
Yeah.
so it seems. But Hiram, that's a huge competitive advantage for Walmart. As you mentioned, you like that physical presence of a store. You like to go into the store sometimes. Talk a little bit about like how Walmart has these best in class shipping and logistics that are already set up for customers.
Right. So, I mean, Walmart can leverage their physical stores as fulfillment centers. So you can get your product so fast if it's available in stores. Like you get it same day. I've literally ordered a product and it's been at my disposal in less than 30 minutes. So I love that. Obviously, that's not available all over the country, but it's important to have optimized shipping, right? Because right now the customer's trained to get their products in 2 days, if not earlier. If you have 7 days of shipping time, then you're probably not going to convert because the customer just doesn't want to wait that long. So if you're a 3P seller and you're doing your own shipping, you are you have the option of selecting any type of shipping. Obviously, you can do like next day, 2 day, but I've seen this. It will be expensive, so just beware of that, and just make sure that you're putting that into like your margins and your P&L. However, if you're a marketplace seller and you're doing WFS, you actually have access to Walmart's supply chain capabilities, where they will pick, pack, and ship your inventory to the customer. They also deal with customer service and returns, so it's amazing. Obviously, there's a WFS fee, just the way that there's a FBA fee. But that's going to help with shipping. You get nationwide 2 day shipping on WFS. And again, 50% growth in GMV when you switch from seller fulfilled to Walmart fulfilled. And obviously, the last one, if Walmart does own your product, then they take care of shipping because they have the best fulfillment and distribution centers. So they'll ship it to the customer as soon as possible.
There we go. Yes, that 50% is still wild to me, just as far as the increases, but very similar to FBA versus FBM on the Amazon side, too. You just need to have your products enrolled in FBA or WFS, depending on where you sell there. But Hiram, what I like best about this conversation is that how everything really ties back to an omni-channel lens. Like, yes, we're talking about the five its as it pertains to Walmart.com specifically, but in every topic that you mentioned, there are implications on the store side of the business, on the online pickup side of the business. So, can you go into a little bit deeper how all of these five its help individual brands with that omni-channel approach?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, everything is connected, right? It's not just .com. It's not just stores. Walmart has had a huge push on an omni-channel presence and being an omni-channel retailer. And what omni-channel means in this case is the customer just needs to get their product in their hands as soon as possible in whatever way. It could be through a drone, it could be through delivery, shipping, pickup today, whatever the customer prefers. That's what's on Walmart's mind. So, yeah, it's all about omni-channel. And for us here at Vendo, we're trying to increase your brand's discoverability and profitability. So we can help unlock that potential because we know what it takes to win as an omni-channel seller or supplier. And take it from me, I have tons of experience being in the Walmart home offices. Their buying strategy has changed a lot. It's not enough for you as a supplier to offer them a good product at the best cost. They don't care about that anymore. They need data driven solutions. So, what that means, and everybody will tell you this, prove yourself on .com. They always tell you that. Prove yourself on .com. So, what that means is make the proper investments, open up a marketplace account, invest in reviews, Walmart Connect, WFS, an agency like Vendo. And then based off of performance, what we can work with you on is painting this really cool picture, telling this really cool story of how we invested in the product, how the customer demand has been there, and how performance has shown off of all that. So that's all just to say that there's a natural progression for selling to Walmart, and it starts with Walmart.com, right? So marketplace, then you go to WFS. Depending on performance there, we can pitch your items to be owned by Walmart in a .com fulfillment center, and then depending on unit velocity there, we'll have a stores conversation. So that's all omni. And again, I'm super passionate about this because I'm an expert in this field. We understand .com. We know what it takes to win. and ultimately we're just trying to sell more.
There we go. I feel like there's no better way to end than that. So, Hiram, really appreciate you coming on and giving our audience your expertise on this topic specifically. I know we try to have you on every couple of months just because of the value that you bring. So, hope everyone saw a ton of value from this episode. And if there are any specific topics that you'd like Hiram to come back for, please feel free to reach out to us, leave them in the chat, comment on some of these comment on some of these podcasts on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., and we'll make sure that we address those in an upcoming episode, and I'll convince Hiram that he needs to come back for those. So appreciate everyone for joining, and Hiram, thanks again for joining me today.
Thanks so much, Delaney.